The fall of Earth's last warship. The stars shone cold and distant in the black sky, but deep inside the battlefield, fire and destruction burned bright. Earth's last warship, the Defender, moved slowly but fiercely among the chaos of enemy ships. The warship was massive, built to protect humanity from the deadliest threats in the galaxy. But today, the Defender was outnumbered. Surrounded by an alien fleet larger than any before, Captain Aaron stood on the command bridge, his eyes scanning the endless sea of enemy vessels. His face was tense but calm, a quiet strength that inspired his crew to keep fighting. "Shields at 70%, the engineer reported. Voice steady despite the alarm, missiles exploded around them, and the hum of the warship's engines was a constant reminder of their desperate situation. The aliens were ruthless, their ships moving with deadly precision, cutting off the Defender's escape routes. Aaron's heart pounded, but he refused to show fear. "Focus on defense," he ordered. "Protect the civilians in Earth's orbit at all costs." The crew worked like one, each member knowing this might be their final battle. In the warship's mess hall, soldiers shared quiet prayers and last words. They knew this fight was bigger than any of them. The war was not just for Earth, but for the future of humanity and every innocent life they had sworn to defend. Outside the ship, stars blinked calmly, as if unaware of the destruction below. Suddenly the ship shook violently. Warning alarms blared and red lights flashed. "Direct hit on the left engine," shouted the weapons officer. Smoke filled the corridors, and the air grew thick with tension. Captain Aaron gritted his teeth, feeling the weight of every life on board. "Prepare for emergency maneuvers," he said, voice firm. "We will not go down without a fight." The Defender fired back with its last remaining energy, lasers cutting through the alien ships. The battle raged on, but the odds were against them. Each second felt like a lifetime. Every move could mean life or death. Outside, a huge explosion tore through the Defender's shield, and the ship lurched violently. The bridge shook, and some crew members fell to the floor. "Hull breach in Sector 5, the engineer called, panic creeping into his voice. Captain Aaron's mind raced, knowing the ship's systems were failing one by one. "We need to evacuate," the communications officer urged. "Escape pods ready." But Aaron shook his head. "Not yet. We hold the line. No one leaves until we know Earth is safe." The crew nodded, their loyalty stronger than fear. Outside, the alien fleet closed in, their ships shining like stars but carrying death. Then, in the heart of the battle, a strange silence fell for a moment. A bright light flashed from the far edge of the star system. Everyone on the Defender froze, eyes wide in shock. "What is that?" whispered a young soldier, unable to believe what they saw from the darkness of space. A massive shape began to move forward. It was the ancient war machine, a giant metallic figure with glowing blue eyes. Long ago, it had been lost, forgotten by time and history, but now it had awakened, and its power was greater than anyone had ever seen. The ancient machine moved swiftly, destroying alien ships with bursts of energy. It was unstoppable, a force of nature that no weapon could harm. The crew of the Defender watched in awe and hope, their fear slowly changing to wonder. Could this machine be the key to saving humanity? Captain Aaron felt a new strength in his heart. He gave the order, "Fall back and follow the war machine." "It may be our last hope." The Defender began retreating, shields barely holding. The alien fleet hesitated, confused by this new powerful presence. But the battle was far from over. The warship was badly damaged, and time was running out. Aaron looked to the stars, knowing that even if they survived this day, the galaxy would never be the same again. The ancient machine had returned, and with it, a new chapter for Earth and all its children. The part ends with the Defender disappearing into the darkness. Following the war machine, hope flickered like a fragile flame, but it was enough to keep fighting. The ancient machines returned far beyond the shattered battlefield. The ancient war machine moved through the cold emptiness of space. Its metal body gleamed under distant stars, and its powerful engines left trails of blue light. Built long ago by a forgotten civilization, the machine was designed to protect the galaxy from any threat. But centuries had passed, and it was lost to time. Buried in silence and dust now, awakened by the destruction of Earth's last warship, the machine was ready to reclaim its mission. Its glowing eyes scanned the dark reaches of space, searching for signs of enemy ships. The alien fleet that had destroyed the Defender was still near, but now they faced a power far beyond their understanding. On board the war machine, no crew existed, only ancient programs and cold logic guiding its actions. It moved with precise purpose, attacking hostile ships without mercy. Laser beams and energy blasts tore through the alien vessels. The machine was unstoppable. A force of war brought back to life. Meanwhile, scattered human survivors watched from hidden colonies and damaged ships. Rumors spread quickly about the return of a giant war machine. A guardian from the past, many did not believe the stories at first, thinking it was a myth or hope made real by desperation. But as the machine destroyed enemy fleets with terrifying power, hope began to grow. In a small command center on a distant moon, Commander Lyra studied the reports. She was a strong leader, young but wise, determined to find this ancient protector. "We must contact the machine," she told her team. "If it fights for us, we stand a chance." Her words inspired her crew. But the search would not be easy. Lyra's fleet set out, moving cautiously through dangerous space. They avoided alien patrols and navigated asteroid fields, each step filled with risk. The tension was high, and the fear of losing everything weighed heavily on everyone. As they moved closer to the machine's last known position, strange signals appeared on their scanners. The signals were not like any known technology. Mysterious and complex, Lyra studied them carefully, wondering if the machine was trying to communicate. Her heart raced with hope and uncertainty. Suddenly, their ship's alarms blared. An alien patrol had found them. Battle erupted again, lasers lighting up the dark. Lyra's fleet fought bravely but was outnumbered just as the situation became desperate. The ancient war machine appeared with a flash of energy. It destroyed the alien ships, saving the humans. The survivors watched in awe and fear. The machine did not speak, but its actions said it was their protector. Still, questions remained. Could they trust a machine so old and powerful? The part ends with Commander Lyra deciding to send a small team to try to make contact with the machine. The fate of humanity now depended on this fragile new alliance. The stars waited silently as the next chapter began. Human survivors Hope Commander Lyra stood on the bridge of her small command ship, her eyes fixed on the glowing shape of the ancient war machine ahead. Her heart was filled with hope and doubt at the same time. Could this metal giant be their salvation or a new danger? A team of human experts prepared to board the machine. Among them was Captain Arin, survivor of Earth's last warship. Still carrying the weight of his lost crew, he felt a strange connection to the machine, like a silent call pulling him forward. The boarding party moved carefully through the empty corridors of the ancient machine. Its halls were vast and silent, filled with strange technology beyond their understanding. Every step echoed loudly, reminding them how alone they were inside this powerful relic. Meanwhile, Lyra kept watch from the ship, monitoring their progress. Suddenly, the machine's internal systems flickered to life, and soft blue lights began to glow along the walls. The team's hope grew, but so did their fear. What if the machine saw them as enemies? Captain Arin reached the control center, a large room with a strange console covered in symbols. He touched the surface gently, and suddenly a voice echoed in his mind. It was the machine's consciousness, ancient but aware. "I was built to protect the galaxy," it said slowly, "but I need guidance." The humans realized the machine was not a mindless weapon, but something more. A guardian waiting for allies to help it understand the new world. Arin and Lyra communicated with the machine, sharing stories of Earth's fall and their hope for peace. Outside, the alien empire was gathering strength, preparing to attack the remaining human colonies. The humans and the ancient machine had little time to prepare. Together they needed to build trust fast or face destruction. The team worked day and night, learning how to use the machine's power and technology. The machine in return adapted, listening and learning from its new human partners. Slowly, a bond formed between the Cold War machine and the warm hearts of humanity. But not all humans agreed with trusting a machine so old and powerful. Some feared it could turn against them, or become too strong to control. Tension grew among the survivors, making the fragile hope even harder to hold. The part ends with a distant signal, an alien fleet moving closer to attack. Lyra and Arin know the real test is coming soon. Will the ancient machine and humans fight as one? or will fear destroy their chance for survival? The machine's true mission. The ancient war machine stood silent in the cold void of space, its blue eyes glowing steadily. Commander Lyra and Captain Aaron watched closely as the machine shared visions from its memory banks. They saw the rise and fall of a lost civilization, once great and powerful. This civilization had created the machine to protect peace in the galaxy, but war and greed had destroyed their world. The machine's mission was clear: to restore balance and protect all life, not just humans. It was programmed to fight only when necessary and to prevent suffering wherever possible. Lyra understood the weight of this responsibility. "This is more than a weapon," she said quietly. "It is a guardian of hope." But time was running out. An even greater enemy was approaching, an alien empire more powerful and cruel than before. Their fleet was vast, dark ships moving like shadows across the stars. They planned to conquer every star system and enslave all who resisted. The ancient machine and the human fleet began to prepare for war. Together, they studied alien tactics and trained for the battles ahead. Lyra reminded her people to stay united despite fear and doubt. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of every living being in this galaxy," she said firmly. But tensions simmered beneath the surface. Some humans still feared the machine's power. Worried it could turn against them, Aaron tried to calm these fears, telling stories of bravery and trust. He believed that only together could they survive. As the enemy fleet drew closer, the war machine's systems began to glow brighter. It was ready for the fight, but it also waited for the humans to fully trust it. The final battle was near, and the fate of many worlds hung in the balance. The part ends with the first signs of the alien fleet appearing on the horizon. Stars flashed as hundreds of ships moved in formation. Lyra, Aaron, and the ancient machine prepared for the greatest challenge of their lives. The battle for the stars. The dark alien fleet filled the space before them. Thousands of ships moving like a storm. Commander Lyra stood on the bridge of her flagship, heart pounding but face calm beside her. Captain Aaron prepared the human fleet for battle. The ancient war machine hovered nearby, its glowing blue eyes watching the enemy ready to strike. The battle began with sudden bursts of light as lasers and missiles flew through space. Explosions rocked the silence, sending debris floating in every direction. Human ships fought bravely, but the enemy was strong and ruthless still. The war machine moved with power and precision, destroying enemy ships with ease. Lyra's voice came over the comms, steady and inspiring. "Hold your positions, protect each other, and fight for our future." The human fleet tightened formation, trusting the machine's strength. The ancient war machine unleashed waves of energy that tore through the enemy lines. But the alien empire had a secret weapon, a massive ship filled with powerful weapons. It fired a beam of dark energy that struck the war machine, shaking it violently. For a moment, the machine faltered, sparks flying from its armor. Aaron and Lyra feared their last hope might be lost, yet the machine's systems began to repair themselves quickly. It rose again, stronger and faster, powered by the courage of those fighting beside it. With a mighty roar, the war machine charged at the enemy flagship. A fierce duel of power and skill unfolded, shaking the stars themselves. Meanwhile, human pilots took daring risks, protecting their allies and striking enemy weak points. Lyra led a squadron on a mission to disable the enemy's weapon systems. Their bravery turned the tide of the battle, giving the machine the chance it needed. In the end, the alien fleet began to fall back. Beaten and broken, the war machine stood victorious. But the cost was high. Many brave souls had given their lives to save the galaxy. Captain Aaron looked to the stars, knowing their fight was not over. But this victory was a new beginning. The ancient war machine turned toward the stars, ready to protect the galaxy again. Lyra promised to build a future where humans and machines could live together in peace. Hope burned bright in the darkness, a light for all who dreamed of freedom.